On the morning of August 22nd, 1986, Ephraim Che walked down from the cliffs of Lake Nyos in Cameroon. He expected to see his neighbors waking up. Instead, he walked into a graveyard of silence. There were no fires, no collapsed buildings, no signs of struggle, but 1,746 people were dead. He found a man still sitting on his motorcycle, dead, frozen in time. He noticed something even stranger. There were no buzzing insects. Even the flies were dead. It was described as the aftermath of a neutron bomb. Only clue, the beautiful blue lake nearby had turned a deep, rusty blood red. We analysed 500 pages of geological reports to understand how a body of water becomes a weapon of mass destruction. This wasn't a viral outbreak or a gas attack. It was a limnic eruption. Essentially, the lake exploded like a shaken soda bottle. Today, we're decoding the physics of the killer lakes and why a lake 1,000 times bigger is ticking right now, threatening 2 million people. This is the story of the silent eruption. We usually think of eruptions as magma and fire, but a limnic eruption is a cold explosion. It doesn't burn you, it suffocates you. To understand it, don't think of a volcano. Think of a bottle of champagne. The gas is dissolved in the liquid because it's under pressure. As long as the cork is on, it's stable. Lake Nyos is a meromictic lake. That's a fancy word for a lake that never mixes. It has a top layer of the water and a bottom layer of the water with dissolved gases. Nyos is over 200 meters deep. Down there, the pressure is 21 times higher than at the surface. This pressure forces massive amounts of CO2 leaking from magma deep underground to dissolve into the water. For centuries, the lake was charging up like a battery. By 1986, it held 300,000 tons of dissolved gas. It was a time bomb waiting for a trigger. That trigger came on August 21st. Likely a landslide. Rocks fell, pushed the deep water up, and broke the seal. As the deep water rose, the pressure dropped. The gas bubbled out instantly. This created a runaway chain reaction. Bubbles made the water lighter, which sucked more water up, creating more bubbles. Within seconds, a fountain of water and foam shot 100 meters into the air. The cork was gone. The lake exhaled its deadly breath. What came out wasn't smoke. It was carbon dioxide. And because CO2 is 1.5 times heavier than air, it didn't float up into the sky. It fell. It formed a cloud 50 meters thick that poured over the crater rim like a waterfall. It traveled at up to 50 kilometers per hour, hugging the ground, silently flowing into the valleys where people were sleeping. The village of Nyos was first. There was no panic, no screaming. The gas simply pushed all the oxygen out of the huts. The villagers lost consciousness before they could even wake up. Further down the valley, in Subum, a survivor named Joseph Nikwane gave us a terrifying glimpse of what it felt like. He woke up unable to move. He couldn't speak. He reported smelling rotten eggs and gunpowder, but the lake had no sulfur. Scientists believed these were olfactory hallucinations, his brain glitching as it starved for oxygen. He heard his daughter snoring loudly. He tried to reach her, but collapsed. That snoring wasn't sleep. It was agonal breathing, a reflex of the body trying to gasp for air in its final moments. When rescuers arrived, they found survivors covered in strange blisters. At first, they thought the gas was hot. It wasn't. These were coma bullae. The victims had been unconscious for so long, lying in the same position, that their own body weight crushed their capillaries. So, how do you defuse a bomb made of water? Simple. You stick a straw in it. At Lake Nyos, engineers installed a polyethylene pipe that reaches all the way to the bottom layer. Once they pumped the water up just once, the bubbles took over. The rising gas makes the water lighter, which sucks more water up. It's a self-powered fountain that has been safely venting the gas for years. Nyos is now considered safe. But 1,500 kilometers away, on the border of Rwanda, lies Lake Kivu. And Kivu is a monster. Lake Nyos is tiny, just 1.5 square kilometers. Lake Kivu is 1,700 times larger. Instead of 300,000 tons of gas, it holds 300 cubic kilometers of CO2. But Kivu has a second weapon, methane. Nyos just suffocated people. If Kivu erupts, the methane could ignite, causing massive gas air explosions above the suffocating cloud. There are 2 million people living on its shores. Engineers are currently racing to extract the methane for electricity, literally burning the danger to keep the lights on. But critics worry that messing with the lake's layers could accidentally trigger the very disaster they're trying to prevent. Nature is holding its breath. We just have to hope it doesn't exhale. Thanks for diving in. See you in the next deep end.